Hi, and welcome to episode 58 of Root Beer Library. I'm your host, Matthew, and on this channel, we taste root beer, soda, and snacks first, so you don't have to. And today, we are tasting Coca-Cola. Strong cola taste. Yeah, let's go ahead and pop this top and get into it. Alright, today we are tasting Coca-Cola. It's got a strong cola taste. I don't know what to say at this point. It's a cola. Let's taste it. Whoa! That's kind of cool. Definitely got that cola smell. So, really quick, Coca-Cola, you know, I don't want to say that's the dominant cola smell out there, because I've certainly smelt or tasted other colas, and of course there's Coca-Cola, which is just a cola. Well, it used to have cocaine in it. That's where Coca-Cola got its name. It was slightly addictive back then, but cocaine at the time wasn't considered the drug that it is today. So let's go ahead and give this strong cola a taste. It is made in the USA with pure cane sugar. Wow, it's kind of nice froth on it for a cola. Cola! Pretty good smell. Yeah, it's just a solid cola type taste. It's not Coca-Cola, of course. It's just a strong cola flavor. Pepsi is technically a cola. This, of course, doesn't taste like either one of those. It's I don't know, how do I... Okay. This would remind me of if I was in kind of a back streets of Tijuana getting tacos. So I live in Southern California, Baja California being not too far from us. We used to go, especially when I was younger, as a kid, we would go down there. We would actually do a lot of our shopping, like grocery shopping. Just the peso to dollar ratio was crazy, and there was a time when it was just so much fun, and we were able to buy so much more for the dollar to peso ratio. We could just buy. It was crazy. It was fun. We would go monthly almost as a kid. We actually used to eat at this French restaurant. And it was, oh my gosh, it was to die for. And it was dirt cheap. I mean, it was still semi-expensive for the time frame, but it was dirt cheap compared to what you're getting. I mean, we were getting like roast duck, and the creme brulee that was just incredible. And this whole 5-course type meals, and it was a really nice restaurant. We would go do our shopping and do all the stuff, spend the day down in Tijuana, TJ, and have street tacos and buy stuff, and then go to the grocery store and just load up. And then, not every time, but probably 4 or 5 times a year, we would end up hitting this French restaurant. My dad loved it. And we would have this incredible meal. And I was a kid, I didn't really realize what was going on. I'm eating this food thinking, but when I look back, man, that was good stuff, good times. And we just had a great time. I mean, there was just an era where the peso was... I don't remember, it was crazy. It was hundreds of pesos to the dollar, and then all of a sudden it dropped to 22 pesos to a dollar. But if you had bought at this time, you now had hundreds of pesos. If you get the drift there, and now 22 to a buck instead of hundreds. So if you had hundreds in your pocket, now, like 100 was $5 worth. It was crazy, just exchange ratio rates. It happened almost overnight. It was really cool, and we're talking back in the 80s. And just going down there, with $20, whew, dude, you could have a day. It was a blast. It was so much fun. Anyway, yeah, let's get back into this. This just reminds me of going down there and hitting up the street tacos. Go down with my dad, and sometimes that's what we do. We go down there for a specific reason, to get something, or we would we would take some cars down there and have them worked on. Just the quality of workmanship down there in some aspects was just phenomenal. And the people were super nice, and we always had a great time down there. My dad had some friends down there. We would go to highlight games. If you don't know what highlight is, there's a link down below to what highlight is. We would go to these games, and I was a kid. Like, I was a teenager at the time going to those, and I could bet on them, and it was so much fun. I was like, this is the best thing ever. And so we just had a great time down there up until basically my senior year of high school. The next year, I pretty much stopped going. I think I've gone only a handful of times since graduating high school. And that's a shame. It's sad. I've gone with church organizations, and then I've gone like 3 times with friends when we used to go a lot. It's just not what it once was. It was just a blast. But anyway, we would have this cola. I know I got on a total tangent there, huh? We would have a cola, and so, a lot of times it was Coca-Cola, but sometimes they didn't have that. You would just have a cola with your street tacos, which were just, for 5 cents you get a taco. It was incredible. We would just pound these things. This is what this reminds me of. All of that said, to just say, this reminds me of that cola with a street taco taste. And it's not Coca-Cola, which is sweeter. This isn't as sweet. This is a little bit more spicy and definitely not as sweet as Coca-Cola. It's got a little bit more of a bite to it. It's really good. Definitely got a good flavor. Definitely cola flavor. I don't know what to say. It's really good. I wouldn't put this in ice cream. I just wouldn't. I don't think colas and ice cream really go well. Just something for my personal taste. There are certain sodas that I think go well with ice creams. Cola, totally different animal here, does not, in my opinion, go well with ice creams. This, with any Mexican food, I'm down. Straight up, that's what this is like designed. They're designed for each other. That's where I'm going with this. Mexican food, street tacos, get yourself a Coca-Cola, and that's just the weirdest name. Weirdest name. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to give this a 2 thumbs up for a cola action, and I'm going to highly recommend it. Please let me know in the comments below if you've had this, or if there's another cola, and we're talking cola out there besides Pepsi and Coca-Cola, that you think is just off the hook, that's really good, something I certainly should be trying and bringing out to the show. Would appreciate that. And if there are any particular sodas that you guys would like, y'all, I'm starting using y'all even though I'm from California. If you have a particular soda or root beer or even snack, and it could even be something like barbecue sauce related, because we will, when I get the kitchen back together, be doing a lot more of cooking with root beers. That's the journey we're on once we get the kitchen back together. If you don't know what I'm talking about in regards to the kitchen, you got to go back 1 episode to find out, 2 episodes to find out specifically what I'm talking about. If this is the in and out episode, I show you what's going on in my flooded house. Yeah, exciting. All right, let's wrap this episode up. Wow, that was a cola belch. Pardon me. Episode 58 in the books. I'm your host, Matthew. This has been Root Beer Library, episode 58. And as always, drink responsibly. See you on the next one. Woo!